That should be a crankshaft. Feels like a crankshaft, heavy like a crankshaft, hits the floor like a crankshaft. I'm thinking it's a crankshaft. Or a flywheel, however you want to call it. Not a crankshaft. Felt like a crankshaft. It's not. Got a nice rear motor mount. Not even broken either, and hardly even got any corrosion on it at all. So this bike was definitely a taken care of bike. This was not riding around. Look at this stuff, looks like it's brand new down here. So this was a very, very clean bike they stripped down and stole the parts off of. Damn bike strippers. I hate bike strippers, but I like the parts. So there's a camshaft that came out, stock cam. So it's a P cam. See right there, it says P on it. The number, this should be number 4. And yeah, there's this P4 or 4P if you flip it around. This has a tach drive on it, so that makes it number 4. So these, you want to make sure the wear surface here is still good, not pitted or rusted. This one still looks pretty good. Next you look at the cam bearing surface here and you make sure this is not pitted or rusty or anything wrong with it. So this cam looks good. Secondary is this one. This looks like new. Third thing is you look at the gear teeth. And these are nice and clean and not rusty. So it's a nice cam. Even though it's high mileage, they actually changed the oil in this motor. It didn't run it out either. Pretty rare lately. Most of these motors I've been getting lately, they never change the oil and they ran out too. So looks like it's a brown coat or tan. So this gear looks really good too. It's a circuit idle gear for the generator. Looking good. Got the other cams down here. The other one is the number 2 cam, the other double gear one. Once again, you look at the wear face on the flanking there. Looks good. This one's got a red coat on it. It's been on there a long time. You can see the seal mark in there. It's got a little wear right in that area. A little corrosion in there. Circuit breakers are eat up on these things and turn to rust, and contamination gets in the seal area and causes wear. And it shows that. It's like those advanced makes it the worst thing about a Harley on the 70s. Pure garbage. So same thing, look at the gear, the cam facing, then you look at the journal. Look at this one over here, looks smooth, and then the gear teeth. Looks good. This one I don't see a color code on it. This is the number 1 cam. 1 and 2 look the same, but they're different. And number 1 only has 1 timing mark right there. Number 3 will have 2 timing marks. Other than that, they're pretty much the same cam. They turn the same direction, so the lobe is made the same. The only difference is the location of what the lobe is. So this one here looks good. A little more build up on this one, but a little wear mark going on that. This one, the washer or bearing or something's not happy as much. It's got something going on in there. This side looks good. And there's your number 3. And you're going to have 2 marks over here. 1 and 2. So we got a pinion gear. And we got the cam thrust plates and washers. And we got the nut also that holds the pinion gear on. So 77 is the first year of the late style crank. So instead of having 4 large splines in there with 1 fat one, this one has 6 splines, evenly spaced, all the same, so this gear will go on any position. But you got to make sure you put it in the correct spot. So the crank itself will have a little notch on the end of the pinion shaft. On the end of the spline, that lines up with the timing mark for the gear. If you put in any of the other 6 positions, it will not run very well, if at all. So this gear looks good. Like I said, we got the nut that goes on that holds it on. So that's a plus. Now, one of these washers is looking a little hot. So these don't look like they're too burnt up. They're just dirty. This one here's got a little heat in it. It's getting pretty warm, but overall not too bad. This looks fine. This one has almost no wear on it. So this one had a little bit of wear on it, but not much. I don't know why that one cam looks a little weird on it. You can see it's got a little thrusting on that one, but not too bad. Yeah, those look good. Oh, this is why the box is heavy. Yes. Oh, generator. Let's see, was it a starter motor in here? It's a generator in here. So there's your black cover, which is hard to come by. That's basically the only reason I bought this generator. It had the correct cover on it. And it's a Harley generator. Here. Harley Davidson writing in there. Definitely a sports because it has the washer on here. That means it's for the breather system. Big Twins don't have the washer. Other than that, it's the same generator. This one has our cover on it, which is nice. So I'm happy for that. It might even work. You never know. Something else that's semi-heavy, not too bad. Oh, primary drive. That's what's down there, clutch basket. Alright, so this is your clutch springs. Parts in here. They're all original too, I can tell we're looking at them. Kinds of good stuff there. That is what the thud and this one hit the workbench. Clutch assembly. And something else that's heavy. That's why it weighs as much as the crankshaft. It's got a lot of weight in here. Oh, this is the chain and the sprocket. There you go. So this is the whole primary drive is in here. Here's our clutch assembly. No kicker on XLCRs. Kicker free. Okay, so we got the whole primary drive assembly. That's why it felt like a crank and bounced like a crank. It's got a lot of metal in here. Okay, so there's the cams. Get them out of the way. Okay, so there's our clutch assembly. You know, make sure the ring gear is good. Look for missing teeth. Nope. Then you look on the side of the teeth. Make sure the teeth are still look like the tooth and they're all there. Yep. These all look good. No rust on the inside. Nice and clean like brand new. So they got the pressure plate upside down obviously because it doesn't have the spring in there. But it does have the plunger. Not plunger, the collar in here for the clutch release mechanism. Okay, so here's our starter jack shaft rust washer. Here's the clutch nut that holds this all on the clutch. Just the space that goes behind underneath here between the transmission and the clutch. Obviously you got a primary chain, which is a little knotty. That's not good. When you see knots in your chain, that's not a good sign. That usually means it's time to throw it away and get another one. They're pretty tight down there. Is that because it's all full of grease, or is it because it's tight? Should only have oil in this thing, so it should be loose. This is pretty free over here. See, it's nice and free. You get over here, right here, it's tight. It doesn't want to bend, see? I'm forcing it. So that chain is getting there. So clean up really good, see if it actually has tight spots. And this one I'd probably not use again because I don't like tight spots. Tight spots turn into broken chains. This is your motor sprocket. Just the late one is real thick, which matches 77. There's no real wear on it, just a little seal lip, so it looks good. All the teeth appear to be on it, which appears to be good. There's 34 teeth per row, and there's 4 rows, so you got 102 teeth altogether. So, quite a few. Okay. Excuse me. So this is your nut, goes right in there, and this is your tensioner. So it's a flat spring. This is your shoe, original shoe, and it's not even worn. Look at that thing. This bike had easy miles on it. It was definitely not ridden by me. Anyway, this is your tensioner spring, so it goes underneath here like this, goes like that. And when it goes inside the permeate, that puts tension on it. It holds it down against the screw so it doesn't bounce up and down. In '82, they went to a coil spring arrangement, a lot cheaper to make, and they redesigned things a little bit. So this is the correct one for the bike, nice early one. These are stronger than the other ones. The later one has a shoe that just screws on, and the screws come off, the pad comes loose. This one here, it takes a lot to make one of these fall apart, so you have to really break stuff basically to make it fail. It costs more to make, so Harley got rid of that. Can't have expensive good parts in a Harley. Alright, that's all my CR stuff. So we got a complete top end, got a complete primary drive. We got the Camshaft stuff in here. I didn't get the oil pump drive gear, I'm not sure why I didn't get that, but other than that I got everything that was on the inside the cam cover there. And we got the complete clutch assembly with those. So that's complete. And we got a nice motor mount. Got a nice generator with a really nice cover on it. Got my complete top end. Standard bore, looks nice. Will have to be bored 10 over though. And then I got the idiot light switch protector piece, I think. If it's original, I do not have one. This has some kind of a plastic coating on it, so I'm pretty sure this is an original part, because nobody would make something like that. It costs too much. So that's probably a really hard part to come by. So I'm happy to have that. That's probably the most important thing in the whole thing, because I don't think I had one before. All this other stuff I already had, but these are nice components. So there's a lot of money here I spent on getting all this junk, but it's nice stuff. So my xlcr will like good parts. There you go.